An uptown Marion bookstore owner says a neo-Nazi group that marched through the city this past weekend did not have much luck during its rally. The group is part of the Aryan Freedom Network, and according to the Anti-Defamation League, the organization has chapters in 25 states.
A shop owner in Marion says they were going into businesses asking people to join their cause.
The group went into certain businesses asking them to join their cause.
And those business owners said, absolutely not, please leave.
That's exactly what the Council on American Islamic Relations says people should do when they see a group like this. Speak up.
Silence looks like consent when people are really not consenting to these kinds of hate activities.
CARE says it's seen an increase in these types of rallies over the past few years.
Just today, we condemned white supremacist flyers being handed out in Missouri. So it's unfortunately a daily occurrence, and one that has to be called out by Americans of all faiths and backgrounds.
New details tonight about 3 construction workers who are charged with assaulting and kidnapping an off-duty St. Louis County police officer. As the men appeared in court today, police just released new details about their investigation. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. The case happened nearly 3 weeks ago in a South St. Louis County construction zone. Our Justina Cornell was in court today. She joins us in the newsroom. Justina, what happened?
This case involves 3 construction workers, Matthew Devlin, Garrett Gibbs, and Donnie Hurley II, who were on the job that night. Now, they claim the off-duty officer entered their workspace on September 26 on South Lindbergh Boulevard and Lee May Ferry Road and started a fight. But after investigating, police and prosecutors say they found otherwise. Within the last 2 hours, police shared new details saying a caller told them a drunk man who was black was being held down by others who were white. Now, when officers arrived, they placed the man in handcuffs, but they say after 10 minutes, they determined he was not the initial aggressor. They also gave him a field sobriety test, which he passed. According to court documents, witnesses told police Matthew Devlin was screaming racial slurs at the officer and the fight began. Defense attorneys argue the off-duty officer was the instigator. However, several organizations, including the Council on American Islamic Relations, have joined the NAACP in calling this case racially motivated.
Well, it's something we urge anytime there's a case like this, that everyone speak out. Because when it's just one group or one minority community speaking out, there's less of an impact. But when everybody speaks out, then you can have some real change.
I have an update now on a story about the Mississippi man who attempted to run over a group of black teens. We first told you about this incident Tuesday on Action News 5 at 5. Well, now a civil rights organization seeks federal hate crime charges for Mark Hall. Video on social media shows that man driving down the street in Ripley towards 9 black teenagers on bikes, laughing and yelling a racial slur at them. Now, we can't show you the video because of our company's copyright laws, but as of now, Hall is only charged with 9 counts of enhanced simple assault.
I mean, whenever any community is targeted, whether it's Muslims or African Americans or any other minority community is targeted, it has the same impact because we're all in the same boat when it comes to bigotry and intolerance.
In other news this morning, we're learning more about racist flyers from the KKK that were distributed around a Bowling Green neighborhood in Warren County over the weekend.
Yeah, Spectrum News 1's Aaron Dickens spoke to one activist who warned against turning a blind eye to hateful propaganda.
On October 1st, Kentuckians in the Bowling Green area woke up to these flyers, apparently produced by the Ku Klux Klan. The concern became widespread and even caught the attention of the Council on American Islamic Relations, otherwise known as CARE, a nonprofit that advocates for American Muslim civil rights. CARE Communications Director Ibrahim said when stuff like this happens, do not remain silent.
Whenever we see this kind of hate being promoted, that we speak out against it.
And according to Hooper, the only way to diminish the behavior is to expose it.
Hatred thrives in darkness. You've got to turn over the rock, expose these people for what they are, and speak out strongly for mutual respect in our society.
But speaking out is only half the game.
Bigotry, racism, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, when you start believing these things, it's a downward spiral for you and for the society. And that's what we're trying to avoid.
I think, thanks. We hear from organizations in Nashville and across the country after this group, they call themselves the Patriot Front, marched through downtown Nashville over the weekend. Jaxie's here with the reaction.
Yeah, well, Neil, the Anti-Defamation League says that Patriot Front falls into the alt-right segment of the white supremacist movement, but presents itself as a patriotic nationalist group. So here's a look at the march from Saturday afternoon. Over 100 group members donned white face coverings and sunglasses with a hat and carried Confederate flags as well as other modified versions of the American flag. According to a manifesto posted on Patriot Front's website, the group calls for American fascism, emphasizing that non-whites are not American. Ibrahim Hooper with the Council on American Islamic Relations released a statement that reads, quote, "People of all faiths and backgrounds need to speak out and repudiate those who spread bigotry and division in our society." He went on to say bigotry in all its forms can only thrive when the majority that rejects hatred is silent.
A Concord man is facing federal charges for a string of hate crimes. Marion Hudak is accused of a series of racial crimes, including at the Sam's Club in Kannapolis last year. That's when he went on a loudspeaker saying derogatory statements towards black people. Now, he's also accused of getting into a road rage incident where he threatened to shoot the driver, who was also black. We talked to a member of the Council of American Islamic Relations who was encouraged by the hate crime charges.
It still does send a message to others out there who might contemplate this kind of action, that it will be taken seriously. And if you do the crime, you may have to do the time as well.
Here at 5 o'clock, a Dubuque man's being charged with a hate crime after he allegedly attacked a group of black teenagers.
Happened Monday at the Eagles Market grocery store. Police say Bob Phillips began yelling racist slurs at 4 teens, ages 12 through 15, outside the store. Phillips allegedly swung his flashlight at the kids, and the entire incident was caught on surveillance camera. Police are charging Phillips with 3 counts of assault while displaying a weapon and violation of individual rights, which is a felony hate crime punishable by up to 5 years in prison. Tonight, the Council on American Islamic Relations issued a statement applauding the charges, stating in part, quote, "By holding alleged perpetrators accountable for their bias-motivated acts, we send a powerful message that discrimination and bigotry will not be tolerated, and that everyone deserves to live free from the threat of violence."
Reaction tonight following a racially motivated attack inside a Dearborn store in Creve Coeur.
As 5 on your side's Brent Solomon explains, one group is calling on federal authorities to take action.
An out-of-mind experience for a customer who showed up to the Dearborgs in Creve Coeur, only to be attacked while shopping. Police say Sean Singer walked by another man cursing, telling him to, quote, "Go back to your country." The customer told police the suspect raised his fist and swung at him, repeatedly hitting him in the face and upper body. When police showed up, they say the suspect told them, quote, "I'm next, expletive, going to China to take them down because they were part of the COVID vaccine virus." St. Louis County Police charged Singer with assault motivated by discrimination. The Council on American Islamic Relations wants to see more.
The local police have brought some type of bias charge in the case, and we welcome that. But we'd like to see federal authorities also intervene to send the message that this kind of incident will not be tolerated.
The State Patrol says it's investigating whether there was a, quote, racial component to Friday's shooting.
But a national anti-hate group is already condemning the crime. Julie Cornell's on the live desk with more.
Well, the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, is among one of the first anti-hate groups to come out against Friday's shooting. In a statement, the CAIR National Communications Director, Ibrahim Hooper, said, "We condemn this horrific shooting as yet another manifestation of the rising bigotry we are witnessing nationwide, targeting minority communities. This shooting is a clear demonstration of that danger that violent bigotry and extremism can pose in our society." He added that CAIR stands in solidarity with all groups from challenging hate.
America! Reclaim America! Life, victory! Life, liberty, victory!
We're now learning more about the group that marched in downtown Des Moines over the weekend. The Patriot Front is labeled as far right and extremist by the FBI. Now we know what they're protesting against. The group was seen marching around the East Village in Des Moines on Saturday, and they were also seen on the State House grounds. FBI records refer to this group as white supremacists and neo-Nazis. During the demonstration, they were waving flags and chanting, wearing face masks and face coverings. A video on the Patriot Front's website says they protect their identity to, quote, protect the lives of those speaking out against tyranny, end quote. Well, a post on the website says Saturday's demonstration in Des Moines was in protest of, quote, the mass migration of unadmissible foreigners who have invaded America, end quote.
And the Council on American Islamic Relations, the nation's largest Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization, released a statement yesterday morning saying, quote, we join all those who seek a society based on justice and mutual respect in condemning any efforts to promote racist hate and white supremacy.
Condemning Nazis on TV requires absolutely no courage at all. But he's not doing it to be brave. He's doing it because he hates white people. That's the unifying theme of all these broadcasts. Well over 90% of the people CARE attacks on TV are white. CARE does not like white people. What they do like is Hamas.
Yeah, Rob, Jewish advocacy groups, the Anti-Defamation League, and the White House are all condemning comments made by CARE Executive Director Nihat Awad. He said in part,
yes, I was happy to see people breaking the siege and throwing down the shackles of their own land and walk free into their lands that they were not allowed to walk in.
As the man said, the rock should be turned over, and along with the TV stations that support them, the world should expose the Council on American Islamic Relations.
You got to turn over the rock, expose these people for what they are, and speak out strongly for mutual respect in our society.